Manny Pacquiao would be right in front of me. He would, after hitting me 15 times, and then I would be ready to hit him, and he would be wide open, and I couldn't pull the trigger. I just couldn't pull the trigger.
Manny Pacquiao's comeback. He's coming back.
Yeah,
46.
Thank you.
The WBC title at 147.
Thank you so
I
much.
wish him all the best.
Quadra, I love him.
Can he do it?
Quadra?
Can he do it? Absolutely.
That's a Mexican blood.
Manny Pacquiao's
Oscar needs
he's a legend. You know,
some nice ones. Thank you.
he's a legend. I think he can do it. Absolutely. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but I think he can do it. Yeah.
He's 46. He hasn't fought in nearly 4 years.
He's 46. He hasn't fought in nearly 4 years. His last bout ended in defeat. And now Manny Pacquiao is stepping back into the ring, not for a farewell tour, not for a feel-good exhibition, but for a world title. On paper, it's madness. But if you've followed Pacquiao's career, you know the paper never told his story. He's the storm in the late rounds, the blur you don't see until it's too late. He built his legacy by charging into danger, not away from it. Now he's facing Mario Barrios, 13 years younger, the reigning WBC welterweight champ entering his prime. Most legends wouldn't touch this fight. Pacquiao didn't just accept it, he demanded it. So when Oscar de la Hoya said Barrios should be careful, it wasn't smack talk. It was a veteran warning the world. Pacquiao doesn't do quiet exits. When Pacquiao announced his return, the crowd didn't cheer. They blinked in disbelief. No fights since 2021. Age 46, deep into politics. Everyone figured the gloves were gone for good. Then came the announcement, July 19th, Las Vegas. No tune-up, no exhibitions, just a leap back into the fire against a champ in full stride. Boxing had moved on. New stars emerged. Titles changed hands. Manny? No press, no mitt work, just family, politics, silence. But that silence wasn't surrender. It was the calm before. And maybe the world mistook that stillness for retirement. Maybe they forgot. Pacquiao never needed headlines to sharpen blades. He doesn't train for cameras. He trains because it's in his blood. Even now, the flashes return. The hands still sting. The eyes still lock. The rhythm? Still a riddle. Every so often, a clip would drop. 15 seconds. No captions, no soundtrack. Just Manny, moving like he never left. And fans would whisper the question they weren't ready to ask. What if he still got it? The whispers became rumors. The rumors became headlines. He wasn't done spectating. He was sharpening. And now the return is real. But this isn't. Nostalgia. This is a final act. One last swing at rewriting history. He's already a Hall of Famer, a fighter of the decade, the only man to conquer 8 divisions. But even with all that behind him, Pacquiao's stepping forward because greatness doesn't clock out. It chases moments. The risk? Massive. Age doesn't care about accolades. Time doesn't flinch for legacy. He'll step into that ring slower. Maybe softer, maybe with less fuel. But if history tells us anything, it's that Pacquiao isn't just dangerous when he's dominant. He's lethal when he's doubted. He's not returning to silence critics. He's returning because in his eyes, the book isn't finished. One more fight, one more shot. Under the Vegas lights, Manny Pacquiao isn't just a fighter. He's boxing mythology in motion. 62 wins, 8 weight classes, 26 knockouts. He wasn't supposed to beat featherweights, let alone welterweights. But again and again, he carved through expectations like smoke. Still, this isn't 2010. It's 2025, and reality has no mercy for legends. When he last fought in 2021, Pacquiao didn't look washed, but he didn't look like Pacquiao either. Yordenis Ugas didn't overpower him. He just out-timed him, outpaced him. Younger, sharper. It was enough. Manny took it with grace, but we saw it. The decline. Slower reactions. Blunted rhythm. Now, 4 years later, the question isn't about legacy. It's about physics. Can even a legend rewire the reflexes that time dulled? Even Ali, Leonard, and Roy Jones couldn't outrun the clock. Pacquiao once made time irrelevant. But now, we'll see if his speed still matters when his legs can't dance like before. Because this fight isn't just physical, it's timing, rhythm, instinct. That muscle memory only sharpened by repetition. Ring rust isn't about breath, it's about microseconds. The space between landing or getting caught. 4 years away doesn't just dim your reflexes, it reshapes them. And Barrios? He's been active, in sync, sharp. This isn't a warm-up, it's a live wire. But here's the twist. Pacquiao never won with brute strength. He beat you with motion, with pressure disguised as chaos, with timing you didn't see coming. He didn't punch through walls. He made opponents unravel. If that sixth sense is still there, then even at 46, he could be too much for a fighter who's never faced this kind of madness. Pacquiao doesn't need to be vintage. He just needs to be sharp, relentless, tricky. He needs to make Barrios hesitate. And in boxing, one round of hesitation can change everything. Make no mistake, Barrios is no paper champ. He's the real thing. 29 wins, just 2 losses. He's built like a welterweight, tall, with reach, with a jab that stings and lungs that don't quit. No flash, just efficiency. He breaks you down, not with haymakers, but with pressure, patience, and precision. Since moving up in weight, he's become colder, smarter. The reckless brawler is gone. What's left is a tactician with purpose. He knows who he is. He knows where he's going. But this test? It's not like the others, because Pacquiao isn't a textbook fighter. He's a math problem no one solves the same way. 1 second he's in front, the next he's behind you, flurrying from angles that make no sense. That's the danger. Barrios has never faced someone this fast, this irregular, this impossible to map. Pacquiao has nothing to prove and everything to steal. Still, Barrios isn't naive. He's honored by the matchups, sure, but he's not here for autographs. He's here to win, because beating Pacquiao isn't just a defense, it's a declaration. It means crossing the threshold from champ to name, from contender to legacy builder. Barrios has youth. He has power. He has rhythm. But all of that only matters if he survives the fire. Because Pacquiao doesn't just punch, he ignites. And no one knows that fire better than Oscar de la Hoya. In 2008, he was bigger, favored, decorated. Pacquiao didn't just beat him, he dismantled him. Left him on the stool, broken. So when de la Hoya says, "Be careful," he's not being dramatic. He's recalling trauma. He knows what it's like to enter thinking you'll coast and leave without answers. And he's not alone. Analysts, trainers, vets, they all say the same, this fight looks winnable. But it feels like a trap, because Pacquiao doesn't train like a 46-year-old. He trains like a problem. He doesn't come to survive, he comes to dictate. And if his legs hold, even for a few rounds, Barrios could find himself in deep water. The crowd? They'll roar for Manny. The energy? It'll lean Manny. That pressure? It's real. And pressure warps performance. Even Barrios' team isn't playing it safe. They've said it plain. This isn't a farewell fight, it's a war. Because they know, if Pacquiao shows up even 70% of what he was, this won't be a clean defense. It'll be a survival test. And survival against a man with nothing to lose, that's the hardest kind. Inside Pacquiao's camp, it's all business. No illusions, no nostalgia. They're not pretending this is the same man who broke Margarito or blitzed Thurman. But they're not clinging to ghosts either. They're building a version of Pacquiao made for control over chaos, precision over pace. Boo Boy Fernandez has said it flat. We're not here for a payday. We're here to win. They've studied Barrios, memorized his habits. The plan? Disrupt. The rhythm. Target the long body. Time the jab. Pacquiao's combinations are still cleaner than most, and this isn't about domination. It's about winning the right moments. Manny isn't sparring for cameras. He's sparring with taller, younger partners to replicate Barrios, not relive 2010. He's training for this version of the fight. No illusions, just intent. The focus is timing, cardio, and shot selection. He doesn't need to win every round. He needs to win the right ones. Fernandez put it clearly. They think Manny is done. They're wrong. This is for history. That says it all. They're not aiming for perfection. They're aiming for a moment that could redefine everything we thought about age, skill, and what it means to truly close a career on your own terms. When the comeback hit the news, the internet exploded. Twitter, YouTube, forums. The reactions were split. Some were hyped. Some were shocked. Others were scared for him. In the Philippines, support swelled instantly. One last ride. But critics hit fast, calling it reckless. Too old, too risky. Because Barrios isn't a soft touch. That divide, that tension is what makes this fight different. There's no drama, no trash talk, no gimmicks. Just a clean, terrifying matchup between a living legend chasing a crown and a champion trying to cement his reign. And the boxing world feels it. Die-hard fans are dissecting every clip. Casuals are circling July 19th. Because whether you believe Pacquiao can win or think he gets dropped early, it's must-watch. That's his power. He brings hope, nostalgia, and danger all in one body. Barrios isn't just fighting an opponent, he's fighting a moment. Because if Pacquiao wins, it's not just a victory, it's a seismic event. He wouldn't just return, he'd become the oldest WBC welterweight champion ever. And that's not just a comeback. That's a new blueprint, a challenge to everything we think we know about age and greatness. So what if he wins? The rankings implode. Barrios, the division's fresh king, dethroned by a semi-retired icon. Then come the calls, Boots, Ortiz, maybe even Spence or Crawford. He'd have to defend. It wouldn't be a mic drop. It would spark a whole new campaign. And then, the stories start. The revenge fight with Ugas. The whisper of Mayweather 2. This wouldn't be nostalgia. It would be history charging forward. Because if he pulls it off, it's not about stats. It's about rewriting the rules. A win here changes how we talk about aging in sports. Brady did it. LeBron's doing it. But this would be boxing's final frontier. That's the dream. But the danger? Also real. If everything aligns July 19th, Pacquiao won't just win a fight. He'll warp Tim.